Hey, welcome back to the channel YouTube. My bad. I completely screwed that up. Yep, but I'm alright with it though. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, is what I meant to say. Today I'm going to talk about. I guess I'm kind of rant today, honestly. I guess I'll pull up my subjects here on my phone as well while I'm doing this. But hopefully the audio quality is up to par again because I finally bought the same microphone pretty much from Amazon. I thought the microphone was like $30, but come to find out, it was like less than $15. It was like 14 and some change on Amazon, and maybe that's why it broke so easily. So, if it breaks again, I'll probably just buy it again. But yeah, so I'm back in business now. I got my microphone back. What I'm gonna start doing instead of, because what I was doing before, I was just holding the little microphone in my hand, but now I clipped it on my shirt this time, right underneath my mouth, which is what I should have probably done. And yeah, the audio quality hopefully should be better, and hopefully you'll hear less of my smacking and less of my peas popping and all that. But yeah, should be pretty good. But today I wanted to talk about what I almost did. And you may ask, what do you mean what you almost did? So what I almost did in my life, in my creative life, is I almost started slowing down when it came to creating. And what I mean by that is that, so right now I'm doing 5 or 6 videos a week at the moment, which is a lot, honestly. It's a lot to do, especially with me having a full-time job and all that. And I'm working that full-time job anywhere from 50 to about 80 hours a week. So for me, I have to make sure my time management is really up to par, because right now it's not, honestly. Like, it's really not. My time management is pretty crappy right now, but I'm hoping to get better. Day by day, I'm getting it slowly together again where I want to be for my time management. But yeah. So sorry, my Apple Watch went off. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I gotta answer this text messages real quick. Yeah, so in terms of what was I even talking about, y'all? Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about time management. That's what I was talking about. So yeah. So my time management skills need a lot of help as of right now. And actually, I'm gonna put my phone on Do Not Disturb so that my phone doesn't keep going off, because don't want that to happen. Anyways, yeah. So time management needs to improve. And what I almost did, so I'll talk about what I almost did. What I almost did is that I almost ended up not wanting to do this as frequently, not wanting to create like YouTube videos and all that. And I was still going to continue drawing and all that and improving there, but I wasn't going to do my gaming as much probably, and I also wasn't going to post on YouTube as much. But then I realized, I was like, well, why am I slowing down? Why am I, trying to hinder myself from growing and getting better at what I'm trying to get better at? Why am I not more excited about it? Why am I not wanting to do it? And the reason that I came up with was that I was starting to doubt myself, is what I was starting to do. Because not even necessarily because of like no views or low view count or anything like that. Because honestly, I don't really check that stuff. I'll check it, periodically, but I'm not going to like dwell on all the numbers, because the numbers, as you do stuff, people will find you, the numbers will come. I know that that's a, that's going to happen, especially if you're putting out, quality content. And as of right now, it's probably not quality in terms of like, you know, maybe the video quality and things like that. Maybe I need to organize my videos better, and maybe I need to do something different. Maybe, whatever that may be. But I'm learning, and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take me learning. It's going to take trial and error. It's going to take practice, and I'm trying to practice as much as I can every day. So that's what I mean by me almost like slowing my own growth. And I came up with this, today's Sunday. So I came up with this on, what day did I think about? I think like Wednesday or Thursday of last week. So a few days ago is when I started to have these doubts in my head. And I almost started allowing myself to be complacent again, which is what I don't want to happen, because right when you become complacent, or at least for myself, I can speak for myself, when I become complacent and when I'm just doing the bare minimum, that's when things don't start to go well. That's when things, they're kind of just dragging along. I don't feel like I really have a purpose in life, and it's not a fun existence, So that's why I was like, nope. You know what? Even though, for a little while there, I had a moment where I was down on myself and I wanted to slow down on content and all that stuff. I was like, nope. I'm going to push through, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to continue. And even if I don't like it, I know it's for my betterment. Because everything, I'm pretty sure everybody heard this before, but everything that you do in life, like, a lot of times you're not going to like it, but you got to do it. Like, I don't like my regular job right now that I'm doing. But, and if you don't know, my regular job is working for Uber. Like, it's fine. Don't get me wrong. It pays the bills. It gets me by, all that great stuff. And I can make my own hours. I love all that about it. But if I'm really serious, like, I love driving. Don't get me wrong. I love driving in terms of like not having like a destination, and and just driving around, listening to music, singing and all that fun stuff. I love to drive, even with traffic. I know some people don't like it. I don't mind it. As long as you're not almost hitting me and cutting me off and all that, I don't care about traffic all that much. It's when those other things happen, like people cutting you off, people almost hitting you. It's an inevitability of driving, and I understand that. So yeah. So love driving. I just don't like having to do it for a job per se. I would much rather be, or, I'll say this now and then, maybe I'll kind of go back on this in a moment, but I'd much rather be drawing or making content online, something that is bigger than myself, because a lot of driving is just making money for yourself. You're not really, of course, don't get me wrong, you're helping people get where they need to get to, but it's not very fulfilling. At least for me, it's not. I know some people, they find it fulfilling, and that's awesome. For me, I think fulfilling for me will look like creating, putting out into the world, and just doing that. And it could be that I was reading I read Rick Rubin's book about the creative mind and all that, and he makes a lot of great points in it. But one of the things that he talks about is he thought that he was going to have a regular job, and then his hobby or his passion would be fueled by his regular job. So he would have whatever regular job he has. For me in this case, it's Uber. So me doing my Uber driver stuff, and that will fuel my creativity, and that'll fund my creativity and my hobbies and all that, which is what it's doing right now, which is, it's going to take some years to build this up. It's not just going to happen overnight. So that's why I bring this particular subject up, is that, I just almost allowed myself to give up almost. And I wasn't going to fully give up, but I was getting to that point where I would have lost my momentum for like my creating. And once you start losing momentum, that's when things start to go down. Like for example, I was working out consistently for a little over a year. I was going 5 to 6 days a week for working out, and I was doing great. I was feeling good. My muscles were looking good. I was in really good shape. I felt good. I was running, and I just felt really good. But then, I over these last few months, I've only been going a couple of times a week, and 2 to 3 times a week. And I've been feeling myself getting weaker and not feeling as good and all that. I'm like, yeah, I need to get back to being consistent in the gym like I used to be. So that's kind of what I mean by just, losing that momentum. Because at first I was only doing like 2 or 3 days a week. And then, I damn well only go 1, maybe 2 days a week. And now I'm at a point where I'm trying to get back into 5 to 6 days a week. So yeah, just losing that, like when I was doing it, what I noticed when I was doing the momentum and all that, I realized how easy it was, because you get into a flow state, things just feel easy for you. Like they feel like you can't miss, it's kind of like even in basketball or sports or whatever, or even like if you're a musician or an artist or whatever, when you just feel like you can keep creating and you're like in a state where you just can't stop and you feel like you're unstoppable. That's what I'm trying to get back into, and I'm trying to slowly get back into it and not force it, of course, but making sure that I'm showing up, because if you're not showing up, you're not going to get anywhere. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do for myself, is just show up for myself. That's all. But yeah, that's kind of a little rant I wanted to do. And also who inspired this. I always talk about this individual, but I'll always talk about him. But Robot Pencil on YouTube, I think he uploads pretty much every day from what I'm seeing. Maybe he'll miss a day here and there, but for the most part, he uploads on YouTube every day. He's an artist, I highly suggest, if you're an artist yourself or creative in any way, definitely follow him. Robot Pencil, ROBOT Pencil. I'm not sponsored by him or anything. I don't even know if he knows I exist or anything, but it's just somebody that I find inspiring for me when I need a little pick me up. Because what he does, he kind of does, and I got it from him, by the way. So it's not like, it's not like he's copying me or anything like that, obviously, because I'm a small creator. But, for him, he kind of does this thing too, where he'll draw and he'll screen record, and then he'll talk over it. So he'll, and I'm not sure if he's recording it if he's voicing, like talking while he's drawing. Sorry, voice crack. I don't know if he's talking while he's drawing, or if he's doing a voiceover like I do, where I'll draw it, I'll screen record it, and then later on, I'll just put my voice over it, what I'm doing, and yeah, but I'm not sure. But for me, this is kind of my process. So, I'll draw something and then I'll voice over it. And yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good process. It's not like it's been terrible. And yeah, I really enjoy it, honestly. I get to vent and I get to do what I want to do. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about that. A few minutes left in the video, so I gotta fill it with something, right? It's like somebody just came by. I'm in the Chick-fil-A parking lot right now. Like I said, it's Sunday. Somebody just came by, and I guess they thought Chick-fil-A was open. And now they're just driving off, which is hilarious. I've done it before. I think we've all done that before, where we've gone to Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. I was like, damn, it's Sunday. Sucks. But yeah, So yeah, I just wanted to vent about that. I think I'm just gonna kind of let the rest of this drawing play out, unless I think of something at this moment. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the other subjects that I'm going to cover later on in some of my other YouTube videos. And if I get into it now, it'll be too long for the other 2 minutes. But yeah. Oh, another thing is that Robot Pencil, like I said, the YouTuber I follow that inspired me to do this channel, how I'm doing it now. He recently he talked about how he forgot to screen record his drawing that he was doing, and then he just kind of showed the end result. And he was like, "Yeah, it happened." And I forget what other example he gave, but oh, that's right. He used to work for I think it was Disney or Pixar or whatever it was. He used to work for a studio, drawing studio, animation studio, whatever you want to call it. And he talked about how he one day he did like a 9-hour drawing or something that he was working on, and he ended up like going to lunch or whatever, and then he thought he saved it when he went to lunch, but he came back, and I guess he overrid it with a sketch he was working on that same day. So all the work he did for this project kind of went down the toilet, and he couldn't find it on his hiccups. Couldn't find it on his computer and all that. Tried to find it in his files, couldn't find it. So he had to call his wife and tell her that he would be home extra late because he had to redo that whole painting and all that. But one thing he realized is that when he redid it, he found out all the mistakes that he was doing, when he first created it, and he found out a way to make it better, which is interesting, because there are times where I forgot to screen record, and I would just, not worry about it and just say, okay, well, I guess I'll just draw my next one, because I'm drawing every day, so I'll draw for at least an hour a day. I do it a lot of times more than an hour a day, but a minimum, I do an hour a day. So yeah, he was just talking about just the whole thesis, the whole takeaway from what he said was just being able to grow with the punches and being able to create something, find maybe the flaws in it later on, and be able to redo whatever it is you do. I don't know what I'm talking about no more. Video's over, man. Just go to bed, drink water, work out, and have a great life. Talk to y'all in the next one.